You voting? You voting in the upcoming election?
I probably will vote, and I probably vote with the team the sister on because she a sister. I might not agree with some of the stuff that her life used to consist of, but yeah, I'm gonna vote for her because that's what I'm supposed to do as a black man, regardless of what she got going on. Why I'm gonna vote for the enemy when it's a sister right here in place to try to do something.
Or why would you not vote and
Why,
give a vote to the enemy?
To the enemy. But not giving a vote is worse than giving a vote.
Exactly.
I'd rather get a vote. You know what I mean? Because not giving a vote only allows voting don't hurt. You know what I mean? Voting don't hurt. So yeah, man. I remember, man. It was either last year or the year before last. They had regional votes, Alameda County votes, and I had to go vote at the last minute. And I went to vote at the Superior Courthouse, the same building that I used to get sent to the penitentiary from every time I went. And it was a crazy feeling. I was like, man, I'm voting.
So the law about felons not being able to vote, that's
in probation, you can vote on probation. You can vote. I mean, I don't think if you're on parole, you can't vote, maybe. But yeah, you can. I used to be in Santa Rita. They'd send the voting ballots to us in jail to vote.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we don't vote because we believe that voting don't help us anyway.
Yeah.
And we don't understand the putting the right people in position helps us have a better opportunity than the one we already had. Doesn't mean it's going to change everything, but it may change a little.
At least a lesser evil.
A lesser evil, exactly. The evil, the lesser evil, exactly. So you got. So now you got to research. You got to dig into a person and try to figure out who they is. I think we like, man, that shit don't mean nothing. That's no way. As blacks, we've been the enemy for so long. It's like, man, now we voting for our ruler.
Exactly.
All right, man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm voting for the same motherfucker. I'm voting for who gonna hit me over the back.
Yup, who gonna take the most from me.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, fuck voting. So I think, a lot of the time, man, we just don't vote based on we think it really ain't gonna help us none.
Well, I think it started with the kids, man. If we start getting these kids more into politics.
If we can educate them, not only exactly in position to be able to be voted for. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And then once they're in position to be voted for, we can tell people the reasons why they should be voted for. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, as kids, we don't have. If you live in the ghetto, the hood, or whatever you want to call it, our role models is the guys that's having money in the hood. Yeah. They try to make it the fireman, the police, the doctor, this. But if you don't see these people every day, you ain't interacting with them, you don't think you can be that. You think you can only be what you see every day. You know what I mean? So a lot of us go the wrong way because of what we see. Or a lot of us jump in these streets, man, because we just trying to survive. And in the process of just trying to survive, we pick the wrong lifestyle. You know what I mean? And that's what happened to me, man. Just trying to get in the game to survive. I picked the wrong lifestyle, man. I have 20 years of in and out of jail using this and that to figure out that it didn't fit for me. So a lot of these kids, the game is for chosen few people. And those are the ones that's successful at it. If you involved in something that you ain't been successful at, stop trying it. Because obviously it might not be meant for you. Why continue to waste time doing something that don't work for you when you can put that time and energy into something else if you just sit back long enough to figure out who you are as an individual? You know what I'm saying? So when I sit back and find out who am I, what do I like about myself, what I don't like about myself, what parts of me I can get rid of, and what parts of me that I'm just going to be stuck with, even if I don't like them. You know what I mean? And once I did that and put stuff in their departments, and I said, okay, cool, now I can be me. You know what I mean? And once you get to the point where you're happy with who you are as an individual, you'll share that with the world. But you can't give the world a part of you that you don't even know yourself. And a lot of times we don't go through life figuring out who we are. Mm-hmm. We don't try to sit down long enough to say, who am I? What's good about me I like? What's bad about me I like? You know what I'm saying? We just keep going through life just doing until we find out that we just been fucking up all our life. You know what I mean? Like, man, it's no such thing as a successful failure. You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to be a failure, man. Try something else. Because what you doing, you trying to fight a fight you can't win because you never won at it before. You're not great at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Choose something else.
Have you ever tried counseling?
Have I ever tried counseling people or going to counseling?
Going to counseling.
Yeah, a part of going through the program, you had to do weekly counseling. And I think that helped a little bit, being able to, first get to the point where you trust a person enough to conversate with them about certain things, and then hearing yourself in that conversation. For me, counseling is you being able. Counseling for me is somebody else asking you stuff so that you can hear how you think about it, and then you apply it to your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We think counseling. No, counseling is just opening the door for conversations that we don't. Like if somebody said, "Man, what you think about this?" You won't know at first until you hear yourself say, "This is what I think about it." I never really knew how I felt about it, but I did feel a certain way about it. But I just ain't had this conversation. I think counseling gives you the opportunity to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? With yourself, because it's really just somebody else using as a soundboard, and they just figure out they know kind of like to keep track of what's going on and know what to ask you.
So would you think of implementing like some type of counseling for the kids in your program?
So so what I was doing for a while, I was doing like these empowerment summits where I would bring people from the same lifestyle as the kids growing up, and now they had been through some stuff, and then now this is where they at in life, to discuss this with the people. Counseling is important. I haven't gotten that far along in my process of having I don't have my own kids. I pick random kids, whatever. Like if I do something, you can just bring the kids, we go. So, but if I was to have some type of program, a group home or something like that, I would use counseling for sure. You know what I mean? Or I would just do it myself. You know what I mean? Because a licensed person just means somebody went to school for it. That doesn't mean they haven't been through what you've been through, so they don't know what you're going through. You know what I mean? The important part of having a conversation with somebody is having some understanding of what they're going through, so you ain't so judgmental about it. Mm-hmm. A person that ain't never got high, I say, why you just can't stop?
Yeah.
But a person that got high gonna understand it's a process to it, and that you're gonna fail a few times before you be successful at it. You know what I mean? So if you fail, they don't give up on you because they know it's a part of the process. Another person would be like, man, you just want to keep fucking up. You don't want to do nothing different. When the fact is, you might want to do something different, but don't know how. I didn't know how to get clean. I wanted to get clean forever, but I didn't know how. Once I took the proper steps, this is kind of like let me stop hanging around some of the cats I hang around. Let me stop putting myself in a position that I think had a lot to do with why I get high. Long enough to get clean and free myself of this stuff. Then it became easier. The main part was not going back to them same environments. You know what I mean?
So did you ever try to get clean on your own?
Yeah, I went detox or methadone. I tried it all. I wasn't ready because I hadn't dealt with a lot of the reasons why I got high. So based on I didn't deal with my issues, just because I was clean, I was just clean waiting for a reason to get high again.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because I wasn't addressing none of the reasons why I got high. So yeah, you clean, but you ain't clean because you just waiting for the opportunity to say, okay, now it's cool for me to fuck up. I ran the best game on myself. Nobody had to con me better than I can con myself, because to get up every morning to go get high and live your life based on getting high, you have to tell yourself some real slick shit to be able to do that, man. You know what I mean? To be clean and say that, I know last time I was getting high, man, I wasn't shit, I wasn't being shit, I wasn't doing shit. And then you get clean and you say, I'm about to go be shit, don't do shit, and fuck up all over again. Because I know when I go use this drug, that's what's going to happen. But I could tell myself something slick enough to still go through with it. You know what I mean? So it's rough. You know what I mean? You got to play mind games with yourself. You got to learn to love yourself. You got to learn to have some self-confidence. You know what I mean? You got to learn to put yourself around a better group of people. It's a lot to getting clean and staying clean. You know what I mean? For me, it was.
Well, you can use the same principles in life, bro, without being on drugs.
Yeah. Like sometimes you just gotta change your environment. Like, you know, change the motherfucker. I've been to me, and it's not like the tooth horns to talk shit, but to me, I've been the shit all my life. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't being shit because I wasn't being me. But me, as who I am, been the shit all my life. But I start being somebody else outside of myself to be the fuck up I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's with anybody. You know what I mean? If you just be you, you're unmatchable. You bring a whole different element to the world because you're being you. But when you're not being that, you're just being a knockoff version of all this other shit. That's all this other fake fuck shit that's in the world.
Yeah, you just being influenced.
You're just being influenced. You know what I mean? So you get lost and now you think, oh man, I'm this, I'm that. You start putting titles on you. I'm a gangster, I'm a pimp, I'm a player. Oh, them is titles, man. You ain't none of that shit. You. And you know how to behave in some of these fashions. Stop claiming that's who you is.